Oh, yeah. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negger, and we're talking about the issues that emanate from Montgomery County and beyond. How you doing today? I'm doing all right. We're coming at you on a Thursday. And why do you say a Thursday? Because I got things to do tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. I got stuff to do, finally. Because if I don't do the podcast on Friday, then I might do it on Saturday. And then Saturday rolls around. Things pile up. I'm just like my kids. And then I won't do it at all. And then Sunday comes and I got to watch the disgusting New York Giants. I hate using that word, but the New York Giants, the disappointing New York Giants, let me put it that way. So I'm bored there and I'll go to sleep and then there won't be a podcast for 2 weeks. And people clamoring at my door. They're like, yo, where's the podcast? Relax. It's coming. But anyway, I said, how you doing? I'm not doing so well today. Why am I not doing well? Because I'm angry at rotten high school kids. That's right. Angry at rotten high school kids. And why do you say that, Bruce? Why? For the most petty reason of all time. That's why. I went to physical therapy today, right? I told you I got the bad hip. They worked up on me on surgery. I'm doing much better. So I go to physical therapy, work hard there. Everybody at the physical therapy place, for the last 3 days I've been there, has had Wendy's bags. And Wendy's is doing a blitz on commercials and all this kind of stuff. And Chubbs said, I'm going to get some Wendy's after working hard, after breaking comic book sweat, trying to push things around with my leg. I said, let me get fat and go to Wendy's. So it's about 11:37 I get out of the PT. School, Quince Orchard High School, has lunch at 11:30 because they go to school at 7:20. So they have lunch at 11:30. I get in my car, I drive over. It's just a quick hop, skip, and a jump over to Wendy's. Bam! It's 11:44, and the place is packed with high school kids. High school kids everywhere. They ruined my lunch. I can't even get my lunch because I'm not going to go in there with high school kids, all sweaty and looking nasty. And then I'm not going to wait in line with high school kids. I don't want to sit there. I'm telling you, there's sometimes when you're old and you just don't want to be bothered by high school kids. You just want to read the newspaper and have a double stack or something. But there were too many people in there, and those rotten high school kids ruined my lunch. But my question is, it's always like this at Wendy's. It's always like this at Papa John's. It's always like this at McDonald's. That's, the quality of food we have here in North Potomac, Maryland. But all these kids off campus, it's only juniors and seniors that can go. I get it. But how are they affording this every day? Right? We talked about McDonald's. None of this other stuff is cheaper. I mean, you're dropping $10, $15 for lunch. Get a job. I'm serious. Get a job. I mean, how are they doing it? I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about it too. It's like, do I really want to spend $11 to get a Wendy's burger and some French fries? And I was like, yeah, I do. I do. All of that work I put in today, I want to ruin it in one sitting. The 500 calories or the 1,000 calories that I burned, whatever I burned. So let me double it up. Let me put 2,000 calories into my body at one point. What else is making me mad in the D.C. area? They took the pandas. That's right. They took the pandas. Might not seem like a big deal, but you talk about petty. My thing being petty, China. That's petty. Took the pandas. Panda diplomacy. Panda diplomacy. They're pulling them from everywhere. Anywhere there's a Chinese panda or a panda, they're bringing them home. They're calling them home. Okay, Johnny, bring it in. Meng Shu, let's go. Chop Suey, let's go. Everybody home. Pandas, home now. Wow. Things are getting really petty and ridiculous. Makes you nervous, doesn't it? Makes you very, very nervous. On this program today, we're just going to have observations. It might be a short one. I don't really have anything to rant and rave about, but I do have things that you need to be aware of. Things that you need to know before you do anything. Last week, we talked about selling your soul, the UN General Assembly, the UN anybody in the administration of the UN. You know who else sells their souls? Democrats. And I'm a registered Democrat, right? Because they speak to me a little bit more, or they used to, than what because the Republicans were the first ones to go over the ledge. But Democrats now. People would rather vote for the devil. They'll vote for the devil if he has a Democratic banner underneath his name. That's the way the world has become right now. And you can turn off the program right now. Oh, Bruce, what are you talking about? You and your conservative nonsense. No, let me tell you about conservative nonsense. Let's talk about Joe Biden for a second. And I'm going to make my point, so stay here. Joe Biden sold his soul, right? I'm the moderate guy, but I'm also going to lean to the progressives and get them in. I'm the unifier. People chanting downtown in front of the White House. People, Genocide Joe has to go. Genocide Joe has to go. These are your people, Mr. Biden. These are the people you courted. You courted them. Hillary Clinton, I talked about this last week, getting walked out on. By the people that you courted, who's the deplorables now? Right? If you don't give the left wing, the progressives, or whatever they want to call themselves, if you don't give them what they want when they want it immediately, then you're done. You're done. See you. Bye-bye. And, you're going to be like, oh, Bruce, this is all right-wing talk. No, it's not right-wing talk. I'm not a right-winger by any means. I'm a center. In hockey and in politics, I'm a center. I am so much better in the middle. I like to clog up in front of the net. I don't have the moves. I'm not fast enough to play right-wing. But the point being here is be careful who you're wooing. City of New Rochelle, right? They, Mayor Bramson there. He decides to step out. For all you people in Montgomery County, this is beyond. This is New Rochelle. So I have a dual citizenship. I've been 10 years out of New Rochelle, but I'm still involved in thinking and talking about it because the people I know when I was there are still there. Because they're Democrats and they get voted in because they're a Democrat. Not because they have the worth. Not because they have the gumption. Not because they have anything. It's because they have a D in front of their name. D in the parentheses, Democrat, Green Party, liberal, whatever, working families, all of this stuff. It's code. It's ridiculous. And people will vote for the devil if he has a D in front of his name, which he does, right? So it all works out. But I'm serious about this. Like the city of New Rochelle just elected a new mayor. And she's with all the progressives. She's with the Fruit of Islam. She's with everybody. Anybody and all the people in New Rochelle who voted her, you're going to get it. You're going to feel it, and you're not going to like it. I don't know if Lou Trangucci was the best choice, but he'd been on the city council before. I don't know how he could screw up the city. He wouldn't. But now you're going to have progressive issues all over the place. Money going for progressive issues. Oh, my taxes, the city, blah, blah, blah. Well, you bye-bye. See ya. Might as well give your wallet over to the city of New Rochelle because you're going to be paying more taxes just based on progressive programs. But Joe Biden, I'm a centrist. Damn you. Right down the middle I am. But, if you're going to pander to the left, the far left, they're going to turn on you in a moment. If you don't give me what I want, you're out. I mean, and the thing is, we talked about people showing themselves right up front. AOC. Or Ocasio-Cortez there. I mean, she shows herself, I want this, I want that. Oh, now I want more once you give it to me. All of them. You got to be careful who you are wooing. Stay true to who you are. Don't sell your soul to get elected. I mean, it's tough. You got to do a lot of different things that you might not want to get elected. But now, don't govern. You're governing to get elected again, and that's the mistake. People have made promises for their whole lives. Campaign promises, they've been empty for as long as I've been alive. But now you're making governing promises. You're putting stuff through Congress. You're putting stuff through here, there, and everywhere. And guess what? It's not enough, and they're going to keep taking. You invite the vampire into your house, it's over, and you have invited them into your house. And Hillary Clinton sure did. I mean, seriously, who are the deplorables now? The people who walked out of your speech because you tried to talk common sense? Exactly. Exactly, Hillary. You should have just stuck your ground. You should have stayed where you were and in your lane, and your lane was probably a good one. But you wanted to get elected so badly that you just threw it all out there. And the people who were leaning right, who might have voted for you, didn't. And that was your mistake. And I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, what if Hillary Clinton did win? I know I got a couple friends out here throwing stuff at the radio right now because I said that. But I wonder what the course of the United States would have been. Would she have governed to be elected again, like Joe Biden is? Would that have happened? I don't know. Maybe she would have gone, spilled her guts and gone all left. But maybe she would have stayed in the center. Who knows? She's been there before. And the Clintons were Democrats, but they were different. But it was a different time, so it's all speculation. Who knows? Republican debates were last night, so now you hear the Republican side of all of my stuff. You think, oh yeah, you're going to champion all of this, Bruce. You're going to champion. You can talk about Trump because you're a right wing. You're a Republican in heart, a rhino, whatever. You're a Republican at heart. I'm a registered Democrat, so take that. Ha, 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 ha. I like to vote in elections. Even though I just had an election day in North Potomac, since we're unincorporated, I did nothing on election day. My friend sends me a text. He's like, did you vote? I got nothing to vote for. I voted for pizza over Chinese food. That's what I voted. I had nothing to vote for. Unbelievable. I don't even know, I was so plugged in when I was in New Rochelle. I don't even know who's supposed to be my council district person now on the Montgomery County Council. They don't ever show up here because they're isolated. Don't even get me started on that. Boy, don't even get me started. Another progressive situation, a progressive table that wants to ban styrofoam, and I get all of this kind of stuff, but that's not the priority. It shouldn't be the priority. It should be on the agenda, but it shouldn't be the priority. So anyway, I was talking about Republican debates. I got one thing to say here. Donald Trump, get in the game or take a walk. You can come from your trial or whatever. There's a Republican debate. I know, I understand it. I really do. He doesn't need to be there. He doesn't need to be there. But guess what? You've been out of office for 4 years and things have not done very well for you. Things have not been good for you since you've been out of office, even though we pine for the older days. But how are you going to get it back, first of all? But anyway, get in the game or get out of here. I'm telling you, I'm watching this stuff, and I watched last night from a distance. But Nikki Haley, you might be laughing at me. And I know I might, again, now friends from the right side still throwing stuff at me, telling me to take a walk. But I think Nikki Haley, she talks sense. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. You know what? I want someone to talk sense. And I don't want to be abashed. I don't want to be embarrassed to pull for someone like that. I thought DeSantis might have had it at some point, but you know what? I don't think he's going to hold up. But Nikki Haley's got some, backbone and character. So it seems. And I like how she's not getting pushed around. And this isn't about a woman. See, that's the thing that I don't understand. I got 55 years on this earth, and I wouldn't care if I had a woman boss. I wouldn't care if a woman is equal to me. It's fine. All right? As long as you're not a schmuck. That's all I care about, the schmuck factor. I don't want schmucks. I don't want a schmuck being my boss. I don't want anything like that. I just want a good person who's going to help me grow and someone that I can talk to, whatever. I don't even need someone to talk to. But this Trump stuff, get in the game or take a walk. I've said it 3 times and I mean it. I know he doesn't have to be there, but he better start defending himself. He's going to be out there. It's like, a rally. He doesn't even say anything at his rallies. Oh, the wall. He's like young Frankenstein. Fire. But Vivek Ramaswamy. Has this guy set the stereotype for rich guys back 1,000 years? He's done nothing but other than reinforce the stereotype that money brings arrogance, that you're a jerk, right? A schmuck. He's not. I don't know if he's a schmuck because he's too rich to be a schmuck, but he's a jerk. Let's get that straight. Up there because he thinks it's a game. You got no experience. I'm not voting for anybody with no experience anymore. I'm really not. Because they don't know what they're doing, and it's like it's not a popularity contest. This isn't the 4th grade. This isn't the GO election, general organization election in New Rochelle High School, which I lost to Judy Silverman. I still don't understand how that happened. Because no one took me seriously. That's how it happened. I went in there with big words. Judy was promising soda machines and mirrors in the bathroom. She did the right thing. I didn't. I got crushed. I got kicked in my teeth. She crushed me. My campaign manager, he probably even voted for her. That's right, Gio. I'm calling you out, you son of a best friend. Votes for the enemy. Or the competition, let me put it that way. the enemy. The enemy and I became very good friends. So that's a whole nother story and a whole nother podcast. But this guy, Vivek, right there, bashing Nikki Haley, you got no ideas. You're sitting in your boardroom playing tennis. That's how you warm up for debates, playing tennis. I don't want to see it. If that's the way you do it and you're getting comfortable, I hear you. I might shoot some hockey pucks or shoot some baskets or whatever. Get loose, have my thoughts, do all that kind of stuff. But I don't want to see it. I don't want to see you playing tennis at your country club. I'm done with the rich people. According to the rest of America, I'm rich, but I don't feel it. And believe me, I understand. We're not hungry. That's the difference. We're not hungry, but we sure as hell ain't rich. And this guy is the most arrogant jerk I've ever seen. And how anybody gave him, how anybody would shine the light on this guy at any time. Oh, he's a younger Trump. Do you want a younger Trump? Do you? What else did we learn about Election Day? The grand old party. The GOP has to stop with the abortion issue. Just has to stop. I'm sorry. I don't know how you feel. I have mixed feelings about abortion. I'm not going to, I don't want to tell anybody anything how I feel about it. All I know is that it is a losing issue on a national scale. Republicans can go to the mat on this one, and you're going to lose all the time. Sensible people, I know, will just vote on this issue. That's the difference. They will just vote on a single issue, and it will be abortion. Nobody really likes it, but what the difference is that no one wants their freedom or their choice to be taken away. They exercise the right to, right? I mean, people were voting for it. I know that I haven't even had it or I had to go back to it. I don't know, man. It's just not a winning national issue. And think about it as well. It has not won in any general election. It was overturned, or Roe versus Wade was overturned by the Supreme Court, not an electoral body. There was no election to overturn that. It was overturned by the Supreme Court. Whether you like it or not, they said we're going to bring it back to the states. And that's what they were doing. We're going to put it on the ballot for the states. Each state has a choice. I understood what they were saying there. Whether I just didn't think it was something that needed to be dredged up. There's certain things that have already been, and they've already been, I don't want to say grandfathered in, but they've been there for so long. It's like the PCPs in the Hudson River, right? GE years ago dumped chemicals into the Hudson River. But sediment has covered up these things, and the Hudson River is much cleaner than it has ever been. You can swim in it all the way up by Croton or whatever. You can, you don't want to drink from it or whatever. But the point being is, people were still out there saying that GE must dredge the river. They got to dredge the river so they get rid of all of these chemicals. But you know what the scientists are saying as well? That if you dredge it, you're going to bring the chemicals to the surface, and it's going to be contaminated again. Over the years, it's one of those issues that the years have worn it away or buried it. And that's what Roe versus Wade should have been. It should not have been something for anybody to be talking about again, especially out of nowhere. I mean, it's always been an undercurrent. I don't want to say out of nowhere, but it's just not a winning issue. Because as I said before, you're going to get people who can listen to your whole agenda, agree with everything on your palm card, and then you get to the abortion issue and they'll be like, no, can't do that. Just can't do that. Because I'll tell you one thing, and on the right side, again, this isn't personal for me, but on the right side, you have people talking about, you can have a gun, everybody should have a gun. And I know I'm taking this a little over the top, but it's my right to have a gun, but it's not your right to do what you need to do with your body or with whatever. So I guess you know where I lean on this a little bit. The older I got, the more pro-life I've become. But it doesn't mean that I wouldn't vote for something different. I don't know. That this is a little bit of trouble I don't want to get into. But I'm just telling you, that's an issue that needs to be squashed. Because it sure as hell ain't working. So I was watching TV with my son, YouTube, if you can believe it. Ryan Negrin introduced me to YouTube. There's this thing called Marketing Mondays with this guy, Atrioc. So I'm watching him, and he talks about all the issues that are going on, about China, about Sam Bankman-Fried, about the FTX, about anything and everything. He talks about it, and he says Marketing Monday, but it's really a business review. And he gives his opinion, and his opinion is pretty good. Not that I agree with everything he says, but it's pretty good. And the thing is just an interesting thing to watch. And it is, I watched it because I'm like, oh, where's my son getting his news from? Where's he getting? And it's pretty even-handed. And they talk about a lot of issues that a lot of us don't know about. But anyway, there was something. He's really got a thing. This Atriot guy's got a thing against Sam Bankman-Fried, as well as he should, as well as everybody should. Someone takes billions of dollars and spends it on himself. Takes your money and spends it on him. Pyramid, Ponzi, whatever you want to call it. The guy stole the money. Everybody in his company said he stole the money. We're complicit, but he stole the money too. And he's going to tell you he didn't know that he was doing it. And he absolutely did. He gave us the orders to. We're not right. We felt bad about it, but he didn't. I mean, they're still all going to jail, hopefully. But, so the point being anyway, I've seen a lot of court cases right now. I don't know what's going on with courtroom sketch artists. I mean, did they fail fine arts school or something? These guys are the worst. Did you really expect me to go down this road? But I'm telling you, they are the worst. And this guy, Atriot, was showing a picture of Sam Bankman-Fried. You know this guy. And if you don't, go look at him. You need to look at him if you don't know who he is. Because would you ever give that guy a dime? Guy doesn't even cut his hair. I'm not giving you a dime. Go get a freaking $10 haircut first. So his hair's all over. He looks like Einstein. Chubby little face, whatever. I mean, the guy's not a good-looking guy. Or he doesn't keep himself. He's unkempt. And they put him in a suit and all this kind of stuff. He's one of those sweatshirt-wearing billionaires, right? Anybody who wears a sweatshirt and has that kind of money, look at Jay-Z. Okay? You want to know about people who have real money and who are not fraudulent? They're not trying to run around in sweatshirts anymore. Jay-Z wears a suit. I'm not even a Jay-Z fan, but I think you understand what I'm talking about. The guy's got enough money where he can afford a suit and he's going to wear a suit. And he'll wear his Rocawear or his sweatshirt when the time is appropriate. Not when he's asking people for money. Or not when he's in a courtroom. But anyway, Sam Bankman-Fried. They take the picture of this guy. They draw it. And one guy must have been in love with him for some reason. I mean, they gave him, the guy's got a pudgy, he's got jowls and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, the guy gave him a look with a rock solid jaw. His hair was looking good. I mean, he was like an Adonis in these courtroom sketches. Go try to find him. I'm serious. Juxtapose his normal picture with his courtroom sketch. And then today, I'm looking at Ivanka Trump. You know, she's a pretty girl. No matter what you say, she's pretty, okay? Politics, all of that stuff aside. But anyway, and I'm doing this based straight on looks and perceptions, etc. They drew her to look like like the Silent Scream. I mean, they gave her hollow eyes and blonde hair and crazy witch lady. I mean, what are these guys doing? What are they seeing? It's what they look like. What these things look like is like this book I used to have about telling you about LSD trips when I was a little kid. It was an anti-drug book, all right? Pipe down over there. Were your parents giving you LSD as a kid? No, they weren't. There was an anti-drug prevention book, which they should probably hand out now. But they had some guy with a hair on fire and sunken, swollen eyes. It was, my brother might know about it, but it was just like, that's what they made Ivanka Trump look like. Absolutely ridiculous. So, if you can't make it in the real world, you become a courtroom sketch artist. So the other day, my son normally takes his scooter. He's got an electric scooter. Cool guy, my 14-year-old. Goes up to school. He's normally on time, whatever. His brother is too lazy to ride a bike, or he's got an electric bike. He won't take it to school, but that's fine. I'll take him 5 minutes up the road to go to the class, to go to the school. But the problem is, when Ryan gets in the car, Landon's ready to go. Ryan gets in the car because he's a cool 11th grader, so we're always cutting it too close. So my son, Landon, complains that he's going to be late. He's going to be late. It's like, I can't believe this. I'm going to be late. You know, Ryan's making me late. I said, hey, every day we leave at this time. You know that. You know that Ryan's always late. It's my fault, I guess. I got to pull him out of the bed quicker. But anyway, we pull in to the area that you're supposed to drop the kids off, right? And Landon's complaining about late. And I'm like, we make the left to get into the driveway. And I'm like, Landon, okay, you're here. And we got to go down the hill. And the guy's complaining that he's late. But then it takes him 5 minutes to get out of the car because he's still looking at his phone, hasn't unbuckled his thing. I don't know, man. If I'm late, I'm like hair on fire, taking everything off, running to the class. But he's still on his phone and still strapped in. I'm like, Landon, let's go. He's like, stop, Dad. You're not giving me any time. Dad, you can't rush me like this. I'm like, rush you? We've been in the school parking lot for at least 2 minutes. You should be ready to go. He's not ready to go, but he wants to complain about being late. Sometimes I just want to take the guys out back and box with them like it's 1890, like I'm Gentleman Jim Johnson there. Just give them that back of the fist. Doom, doom, doom. But they don't know. They really don't know. Because we're a breaking news program, and we want to let you know what the scoop is. If you haven't checked yet, Netflix is $24 a month. $24 a month. For what? That's what I have to say, just like the boy is. For what? I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. I mean, all they're doing is replaying television shows, and half of their content, if not all of their content, pretty much stinks. It stinks. But they're still going to charge you $24 because they're a brand now. Because all you schmucks have decided to call things a brand. Netflix is a brand. Let's Netflix and chill and all this kind of stuff. You've made it part of the lexicon. You've made it part of the language, part of the society. For $24 a month, they should have something good. Talk about old people, right? I'm part of AARP or whatever. I saw the magazine. I'm listed on their website or something, and I get texts from them or notifications. And they're like, are you playing the streaming game? And I'm like, oh, let me read this. And they said, well, this is what you need or so, but here's the advice. Get Netflix. Spend your $24. This was before it was $24. This is when it was still a bargain at 16 or 19. And a bargain. But they say, watch everything you can for Netflix. Watch everything. And then dump it. And then go get Disney TV. Watch everything. And then dump it. And et cetera and so forth. Because you know why? There's no discounts. There's no discounts for keeping Netflix. Netflix is just a straight up price. Whatever you pay, you pay. There's no, I'll sign up for 3 months and I'll get it for $9.99 or whatever. It's just a straight up $24 from now on. And, you know, this was like the greatest advice I've ever got. Just play roulette with these streaming services. Get HBO Max, because you can't finish everything, and why are you going to keep it? Just rotate them. Rotate them. And Netflix will love you because they'll lose a subscriber, and then 2 weeks later, they're like, oh, we got a new subscriber. No, it's just Bruce again. It's Jenny from the block. I'm back. Right? Oh, well, we've got new subscribers. How many did you lose? Ha-ha. I know your tricks. Dirty pool. I'm calling you out on it. For someone who's got nothing to talk about, I'm still going to fill up 30 minutes. That's why I'm great. You want content, you come here. I can talk your ear off. And I'm just talking to a computer screen. It's amazing. But I can talk to myself. This is all the things. This is the only difference. I'm doing this all the time in my mind. The only difference between this podcast is now I'm just verbalizing it. But otherwise, I'm doing this all the time. Went to this place, the Comus Inn. Met some friends up there. It's a place, they sell beer. They sell their beer, right? It's not a beer garden or one of those breweries or something. But they have an open space. They have shuffleboard and foosball outside. It's a decent view. It overlooks like Sugarloaf Mountain. So in the landscaping aspect, it's okay. It's a nice view. But we got there about 4 o'clock, so it's starting to get dark already. So we bring out our own chairs. We got our own lawn chairs. People have dogs and all this kind of stuff. I realized we got to go up to the bar and buy $8 beers, right? So we have a couple of those, and it was a fun time. I was glad to be out with people. I have no complaints about that situation. But then when I get back in the car to go home, I realized I could have just done this in the backyard. What's the difference? I It's the greatest scam ever perpetrated on people with these beer gardens and stuff like that. Unless you're really going for the beer, which I don't understand. Why would you? But I mean, they're charging you $10 a pop or $8, $9 a pop for a beer. I mean, that's the going rate, so I get it. But they put you on an Adirondack chair, and then they have a guitar player maybe, or they're playing the Rolling Stones over the loudspeaker. And I'm like, okay, this is a wonderful place. Oh, it's so great out here. What's the difference between that and your backyard if you have a backyard? I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start charging, I'll charge $2, $3 for a Bud Light, $4 for a Sam Adams. I'll sing, or I'll play like 3 chords, or I'll get my brother down here. He can play. And people can come up to me and pay me for the use of my backyard. I'll let your dog run around back here. You can throw a football. Bring your kids. Right? I mean, these places they're just places to hang out, which I get. But I was in the group of 6 or 7. I didn't talk to anybody else in the place. I mean, I didn't know anybody else. So I just cut out our little area. And then it got dark, so there was no landscape anymore. And I would have been warm enough if I was in my backyard with the fire pit or something. That's right. This is what I think about, and this is what I complain about. Anyway, one last thought. Program's called Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negro, and I come to you whenever I feel like it. Today I'm coming at you on a Thursday. A couple people are going to be thrown off. They're like, Thursday? What's this all about? No, it's not a short week. I just don't have the time tomorrow. I told you that already. If you don't like it, what can I tell you? Right? You're SOL. That's what I tell my kids all the time. But there's one thing. The other day, I was feeling good. I was walking around the house, and something very strange happened to me, is that I didn't feel any pain. And it was like, I noticed it. I was like, my goodness, I don't feel anything. There's nothing in my leg. My muscles don't hurt. The hip doesn't hurt. The knee doesn't hurt. Everything feels good. And I was extremely, extremely appreciative of it. I was overwhelmed by the feeling, because let me tell you about something. Pain. People who are in real pain or chronic pain, I have respect or empathy. I don't know what the correct word would be there. But it makes you tired. Pain makes you tired mentally and physically in a way I never, ever understood before. I've been hurt and broke collarbone, but you knew you were going to heal and you didn't know when it was going away. But with this hip stuff, I had it for a while, and now I still have it. Even after the operation, it's nothing. There's no magic elixir. I got to work, and I'm getting better, and I'm happy about that. But there are people out there who live with chronic pain. And you have my utmost respect. Again, empathy, nobody needs my empathy, but you have my utmost respect, because it just makes you tired. It's very, very tiring. Any kind of pain, mental, physical, it just makes you tired and makes you less productive. It just makes you want to lay down or sit down or whatever. And then you just start losing it and it starts scraping away. And that's what's scary. I mean, I don't know if I guess I'm appreciative right now for understanding this lesson. And that makes me, I don't want to say happy, but makes me aware, and I understand that one day where I didn't feel anything, I'm going to feel like that again, and I can't wait for it. And I will never, ever take that for granted again. Never. Never. Again, the program's called Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negrin. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on iHeart, on this, that, and the other thing. Just do it already. I'm sick and tired of sending you emails. Just if you like it, just subscribe. It comes right to your inbox. You don't even need to be bothered by me twice, or 3 times, or 4 times. But take a listen, and if you do like the program, tell your friends. Tell them that there is somebody out there that's like you. This isn't from far away. This is just, I'm your neighbor. I'm someone you know. It's about time we start putting this together and start talking about these things that are important. Because right now, world's upside down. What Up Cuz featuring Eric Negrin. Outro is World's Upside Down. Enjoy, and I'll talk to you next week.